Hi, today we are going to see how we can use XState to share documents in a React Native application built with Expo. We have a simple application that displays a PDF document. We want to be able to share this document when we click on Share button. With Expo, we can use Expo sharing module to share documents. Let's install it. Let's implement a function that is called when we click on Share button. We call Expo sharing, we import share async function. This function takes an URL. We provide the URI of the document. If there is an error, we catch it, and we log it. Console error. Perfect. We call this function when the button is pressed. In React Native, onClick is replaced by onPress. If we click on the button, we get an error. You don't have access to provided file. This is because we need to share a file that is on the device. That is, we must first download the document and then share it. We can use file system module for Expo to manage the file system of the device. Let's install it. We import Expo file system download async. We will download the document to a specific place. We use cache directory constant from Expo file system. This constant represents the directory in which we can store files that can be deleted by the system itself at any time. This is perfect for our use case because we don't want the file to be persisted for a long time. We just want to cache it and then use it. If the file is deleted in the near future, this is not a problem. So we use cache directory and we save the file to Erlang getting start. We use download async. We download document URI and we save it to document local URI. And then we use share async on document local URI. Yes, we must to take care of one thing. Cache directory can be null. It can be null on the web. Expo enables the application to be run on native platforms and on the web. On the web, Expo file system can simply don't be used. We will have to write another solution for the web specifically. And for now, we just want to throw an error if cache directory is null. Nice. Let's see if this solution works. We reload the application. We click on the button. And indeed, we see the name we provided to the local file, and we can share it. While thanks to this solution, we can share the document, each time we want to share it, we have to download it. We will implement this function inside a state machine, and then we will ensure that the document is downloaded only once. So let's install XState and XState React. We import create machine from XState, and we create a machine. Share document mesh. We enable type generation. And we open the machine in the Visual Editor. We rename the machine in share document. So basically, our function has three states. There is an idle state. In this idle state, we are waiting for the share document event. Once we get this event, we go to downloading document state, and then we go to sharing document. So idle waits for share document event. Downloading documents is invoking a promise service, download document. And sharing documents is invoking share document service. When the document has been downloaded, we go to sharing document state. And when the document has been shared, we go to idle state. This is what our function was doing. I just targeted a wrong state, and now this is better. Okay, so let's go to our component. Let's use machine hook from XState. XState React, use machine. We get the state and the send function, and we use shared document mesh. One welcome thing brought by the type generation is that we need to provide the services. As you can see, services is required when actions is not. So we provide the services, download document, which is a nothing function that we'll call download async function. And we have share documents, which calls share async. I just move up the constants and we need to do one more thing. It's to type in schema the return of the promise services. So schema services is an empty object we cast to download, share, we get them, and we say that both these services will return an object with a data property, which means nothing. It just returns nothing. And now we should get no more TypeScript error. In handle share document press, we send an event to the machine. This event is share document. Perfect. This is no longer a nested function. Now, let's see if the implementation still works. We click on the button, the document has been downloaded, and we can share it. One big issue with this solution is that the document is downloaded each time we want to share it. Let's go back to the machine. Let's create in the context a property we will call document has been downloaded. This is a boolean, and this boolean is by default set to false. Nice. In the machine. When the document is downloaded, so on the undone transition, we want to set to the context the property to true. So we say assign document has been downloaded to context. Okay, let's create the action. Actions. Assign document has been downloaded to context, and this will be an assigned action. We take assigned from XState, and in this case, we say that done document has been downloaded is set to true. Perfect. And now we can add a condition to download the document only if it has not already been downloaded. So we go to share document event and we say if document has been downloaded. Let's move the event and the states. If document has been downloaded, we no longer go to downloading documents, but to sharing document. Nice. And if we add another guard, and this time we say, if the document has not been downloaded, we want to download it and then keep going to sharing state. So we have our guard, document has been downloaded, we need to implement it in the machine. We say guards, document has been downloaded, and this will return document has been downloaded equals true. Perfect. Let's see if the application still works. I reload the application, I click on the button, we see that the document is shared. But to determine if the service is called again, we need to add a log. Document is downloading. We want this log to appear only one time. So I reload the application, I click on the button, the document is shared, and document has been downloaded. If I click again on the button, the log does not appear a second time. So the state machine works. The application could be improved in one other way. The document is saved to the cache, but if we reload the application, the document maybe still be in the cache. So why should we download it again? We want to download the document once, and in another session, if we see that the document is in the cache, we want to bypass the downloading step. We create another property in the context called document is cached. This is set to false by default, and this is a boolean too. In the machine, we create a new state. This state is called getting document from cache. In this state, we invoke get document from cache, and we make this state the initial state of the machine. if the service resolves or if the service rejects. In both cases, we go to idle state. But if the document could be found, we assign to the context that it has been assigned document is in cache, is caged to context. And when we are in idle state, when we receive shared document event, we want to go to downloading document state only if the document is not in the cache nor is downloaded. So we add a new guard, document is cached. We move it up, document is cached. Yes, like this. Document is cached. We directly go to sharing document. Document has been downloaded. And finally, if the document has not been downloaded yet, we download it. Now we can implement the service and the action and the guard. So first, the guard. Document is cached. It simply returns if the document is equals to true. We define the action. Yes, thanks GitHub Copilot. And finally, we need to define the service get document from cache. So here we will use another function from Expo file system. We use get info async. This function returns if a file exists. We call it with the document local URI. And we await the results. And we get exist. If the document is not cached, exists equals false. And in this case, we want to throw an error. Perfect. I just want to document as a service in the schema. This is not necessary, but I think it's great to do for promise services. Just need to remove the quotes. Okay. And I just want to do another thing in order to be able to test easily. I just want to add a button that deletes the file. So I take delete async function and I create a new function to handle the click on the button. Handle delete documents from cache press. And I call delete async document local URI. I create a new button we call this function. And I want a trash icon. Just add some space between elements. And now we get the button. If we reload the application, we see that we can share the document, but it was not downloaded. If we delete the file from the cache, no error. Let's reload. No error. We click on the button to share the document. The document has been downloaded. And again, if I want to share, the document is not downloaded again. So it works. And thanks to XState, it's quite easy to create things like this. The state machine could be improved. For example, if the document was in the cache when the application loaded, but no longer when the user clicks on share button, the document will not be shared because we would assume that it's still in the cache. There might be ways to improve it, but I think that for this kind of use case, it's not necessary to go further. Thank you for watching this video about XState and React Native. I want to say that, indeed, XState can be used in React Native and it's really suitable. Thank you and see you soon.